Aha! Now we are almost with the internet working. So today it's going to be the first live with the new internet set. And this relates to our topic of the day, Western Materialism and Eastern Spiritualism. Recently, I have sent one video on the topic relating to the modern world. Now I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this. So, the important point is to understand there are karmic archetypes relating to each kind of polarity. There is the materialistic polarity that is related to Chakra, Venus, to Shani, Saturn, to Buddha, Mercury, and also to Rahu. These four grahas, these four karmic components, are a kind of Western camp. They are promoting the development of what we call the Western society. Shukra, Venus, relates to comfort and making material living more pleasurable. Acharya is the guru of the Asuras, and we were speaking in the other video that nowadays we can understand this word Asura as materialistic people, not demoniac. Only people that are not praying, chanting mantras, they are going to the cinemas, they are going to rock and roll shows, because Shukra relates to the idea of entertainment. The greatest goddess of culture, of Apollo also, but okay, Baco wins. The point is that in the West, we are culturally taught, we are institutionally driven to a kind of approach that what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to gain money and to spend money and to gain power and exercise power. We are going to see that Kuja, Mars, there is kind of ambiguity between the two of them and the two camps. I would say that he is the mechanism like clashing, maybe, because he can play in both sides. But the point is that to start, Shukra is the guru of Shani, Saturn, and also he's not guru of Buddha, but he's a very good friend. So these three ones, Shani, Buddha, they relate to earth and wind rashis, Prithvi and Vayu rashis. So Shukra relates to Vrishabha, that is Sidereal Taurus, and also to Tula, that is Sidereal Libra. Respectively, it's earthly and wingly rashis. Shani relates to Makara and Kumbha, respectively, Sidereal Capricorn or Crocodile and Aquarius. And they are respectively earthly and wingly signs, rashis. And also we have Buddha with the rashis of Mithuna and Kanya, respectively, Sidereal, Gemini, and Virgo, with the elements of wind and respectively. So these three grahas control the elements of wind and earth in the sidereal zodiac. Taurus, Wrishaba, Virgo, Kanya, and Capricorn, Makara. These are the earthly signs. And also Gemini, Mithuna, Tula, Libra, and Kumbha, Aquarius. This polarity creates, plus Rahu, that we're going to talk soon, creates the drive to progress. So in our culture, we have three basic tenets. The Shukranian tenet, the tenet that is related to Shukra, that is to give pleasure, to give happiness. What is the purpose of life? To give happiness. This is a Shukracharya dictum. If not, what is the purpose of life? Is to work and to be a producer, like Shani, like Saturn, and to gain power and to gain control of material production. So the Makara and Kumbha Rashis, Sidereal, Capricorn, and Aquarius, they related to the most expanded areas of material production and achievement. Capricorn and Aquarius, respectively. So Shukra is to have leisure, have pleasure, and have expenditure. Saturn Shani is to produce, to work, and to work hard to improve material conditions. Plus that, there is the science, there is the knowledge, the material, the technical learning that is provided by Buddha, Mercury, in a way that it's working more in a more materialistic approach. Because also Buddha can be interested in spiritual knowledge also, but it's not his main tenet, is Guru Jupiter. So in the Samudra Manthan, when Asuras and Devas are churning the ocean of consciousness, they are churning, and from there there's going to come our good friend Dandan, Dhanvantari. In this process, there is one side that is on the head of the snake, and the head of the snake there is Rahu. The ambition and the non-satisfaction, like Mick Jagger. I can get no. So with these four components, we arrange the fabulous four of the West. That is Shukra, expanding and not expanding, making expenditures, having comfort and have leisure in life. Entertainment. We should not look for spiritual practice. We should go to the theater. We should watch Tiago flicks, Netflix, whatever. It's we should be watching things that are related to not our spiritual growth, but our material being and comfort. Okay. For that, we need to pay the bills, and the bills are regulated by Shani, and we need to work to pay the bills, but not only to pay the bills, also to have pleasure, have the Shukra, the Sukha aspect of life, not only the Dukkha, the frustration and the more hard part of life. And with these two big proponents, Buddha worked as a kind of giving the means, giving the intelligence. This is a good word for that. Giving the knowledge how to improve the material conditions. So you can say that Shukra is the desire, in a way, to have pleasure, to be happy. Shani is the, okay, let's do it, let's put the hand to work. And Buddha is the knowledge, how to do it. But also we have Rahu working together in a cluster to, there is no breaks. There is going to be no stop. The progress is going to be launched to sidereal space, to infinity and beyond. Like the bus, Toy Story guy. In the idea that we should never, ever stay in my heart. No, not like this. We should never stop our progress machine. We shouldn't be satisfied with our material conditions. To be better is to produce and to consume more. So with these 4 components, we arrange a kind of cultural paradigm that we call it the West, the scientific, the modern, the materialistic West. So this is one side of the story. The other side of the story, it relates to Surya, sun. It relates to Chandra, moon. It relates to Guru, Jupiter, and it relates to Ketu. Ketu, the south node of eclipse. Rahu is the north node. So Ketu is the tail and Rahu is the head. And the tail is detachment and the head is attachment to the senses. So Surya, Chandra, Guru, Ketu form the other pole that is going to be the spiritualistic. How this works. So Surya relates to Simha Rashi, that is the Leo, sidereal Leo. Chandra relates to Karaka Rashi, that is sidereal Cancer. Guru, Jupiter, relates to Danu and Nina Rashi, sidereal Sagittarius and Pisces. And we need to bring Mars to this camp. So we can say that Mesha and Vrishika, Aries and Scorpio, sidereal Scorpio, are making the other 6 Rashis that are opposed to the materialistic Rashis of the other side. This is just one first glance. This is not completely like that, because Buddha can work in a different manner, Shani, Shukra can in a different manner. We are speaking sociologically, okay? The other camp, the Grahas that control the fire and the water element. The earth element relates to Artha, according to the Purusharthas, and the Vayu, wind element, relates to Kama, sensorial fulfillment. And fire element relates to Dharma, and water elements relates to Moksha. So we have with this the principles of spirituality in one side and the principles of materialism in the other side. What are the principles of spirituality? Dharma and Moksha. What are the principles of materialism? Artha and Kama. I'm not saying that spiritual people shouldn't have Artha and Kama, and materialistic people shouldn't have Dharma and Moksha, but they are going to resemble different features. So let's continue. Kuja relates to the fiery Rashi of Aries, and the watery Rashi of Vrishika, Scorpio. So we have 1 and 8. Chandra, the moon, relates to Karka, Cancer, watery. Surya relates to Simha, Leo, fiery. And Jupiter relates to Danu, fiery, Sagittarius. And Mina, watery, Pisces. The problem of recording videos at the time of the day is that the mind's not very sharp. It's going everywhere. So, since Surya and Chandra has the rulership of only one Rashi, it implies that to have 6 Rashis, we need 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, instead of 2 of Buddha, 2 of Shani, 2 of Chakra that is in the other side. We can say that Surya and Chandra in this arrangement, they sum up to be one thing, the soul and the mind. But this is another yogic point. Here we have a whole new paradigm of how to construct and how to develop, how to evolve, let's say like this, the society. So Guru, in the place of Guru as Shukra, Acharya, the Guru of materialistic people, Guru, Jupiter, is making people to be aware that spirituality is the most basic the most basic tenet that people need to be adopted. The point is that in the West, people are taught by, and they are taught about science and technical stuff. In the East, in the Eastern, let me say like that, because this is not completely geographical. It has some geography in that, but it's more sociological. For example, Australia nowadays is Western. Not in India and China in some way is also Westernized today, but they are Eastern cultures. Okay, just like the Middle East is an Eastern culture, even though nowadays Israel, wherever, and the Arabian countries are very much Westernized. The point is that in these spiritualistic cultures, like the Islamic culture, like the Hindu culture, like the Chinese, Taoist culture, what should be known firstly is that we are part of a larger order of the universe. This order of the universe is by the God, and this God is symbolically represented by Surya. Surya is the natural order of things. And in this scheme, there is a natural order of life. And there is a hierarchy of order. In the West, with Saturn, there is no hierarchy in a way that every human is materialistic, equal to every other human, like in Libra. But in the East, spiritually speaking, even though the body can work in a very similar manner, spiritually speaking, people have different lineages and different of development, just like animals and plants and minerals have. In the spiritual realm, it's acceptable, even in the West culture, like Spiritism, Allan Kardec, and this kind of stuff, there is hierarchy. There are more evolved souls. This doesn't make them exactly better. More evolved is mean that they have more awareness of the divine consciousness, God, or whatever. And Surya represents this central tenet. There is a kind of organization, a natural law, a natural rhythm that permeates all the universe that in the West was working somehow until what we nowadays call medieval ages, that are the dark ages. Why they are dark? Because they are not materialistic, they are spiritualistic. I'm not defending that in the same manner that it was like 1,000 years ago. But the point is that what are the values? This is the main point. In the Eastern values, how much the person, the spiritualistic values, how much the person is evolving as a spiritual being is the most important assessment. In the materialistic assessment, how much the person is progressing on material accounts, it's the fundamental point. So, Jupiter, Guru, is teaching people that they should understand they have a spiritual heritage and they should be looking towards to evolve spiritually. Surya is representing the natural order, the natural law, that there is divine beings that are helping us, rishis and whatsoever, angels, no matter the name, mentors. They are bringing spiritual understanding that we are part of the ocean and we are part of divine consciousness, and we are channels, we are actors in this divine consciousness, like even if like to. But Chandra here relates to the idea that we can go inwards and we can step into our spiritual heart, not only our senses and this kind of stuff. Even if sometimes Chandra can be very materialistic also, depending if it's waning or waxing, but it's more complex stuff. I'm not going into the specific details of Jyotish here. We're speaking in a broader sociological terms. And Mars, Kuja, is giving the courage, the strength to make austerities, to make tapasya, to go beyond the comfort zone of material existence and driving to the tree, to sit there, and if the world around crushes, okay, I'm going to be still here. So these are a broader sense. We need to include Ketu here. Ketu is the detachment principle and the ability to attain moksha, attain final liberation, attain the concept of nirvana, paradise, Eden, whatever. The idea that we are perfectly consciousness, we are perfectly redeemed, depends on the person, how the person spirituality is going to manifest. But the point is the final point. Just like Rahu is the Big Bang, Ketu is the Big Crush. And the idea is that all the life is being not measured, measure is a more materialistic word, is being observed in a lens relating to the values of spiritual development. A person can have Surya in a way that it's materialistic, a person can have Shukra in a way that is spiritualistic. I'm not saying here that those are materialistic grahas and these are spiritualistic grahas. This depends on how each of these grahas these karmas, specifically speaking, are brought to the present moment. But the point is that sociologically speaking, on a cultural level, there is this difference that Eastern spiritual cultures are more drawn to the past, where Ketu resides, the ancient traditional knowledge, just like Ayurveda, for example. And the East is driven by Rahu to the idea of progress, to idea to develop, to create new things, and to control the nature in a way that we are going faster to the future, and we are going to reach there and grab it and control it, and in the words of Francis Bacon, take it through the hair and control the nature. You can read this in the philosophy. But the main idea in the East, there are materialistic people and philosophers and spiritual traditions also. In the West, there is spiritualistic teachers, philosophers, and whatsoever. Here, any kind of country, any kind of people in a particular sense. We're speaking in a broader sense, sky as in time and space scales. Doesn't matter if it's the name is Bharata, if it's India, if it's whatever. Doesn't matter if the name is Pindorama, Brazil, or whatsoever. If it's France, or if it's part of Rome. I'm not saying about countries. I'm not saying about populations itself. I'm saying about the energetics of this human development last maybe 10,000 years. It's not necessary to go backwards than this, because the history it's a little kind of not so still. And in the West, we speak from the material ground of history, and in the East, we speak more in the tradition of history. There is no better or worse in this. There is only different kind of energetics. The Western energetics are more materialistic, are more driven by this cluster of Rahu, Chakra, Shani, and Buddha. And the Eastern spiritualistic, it would be better to say the materialistic cluster is driven by these grahas that are related to Artha and Kama principles, and Vayu wind elements, and the spiritualistic ground is related to Dharma and Moksha Purusharthas that are related to fiery and watery, Agni and Jala Rashis. So in this point, we can understand that sometime in Australia there was a kind of human society there was more spiritualistic than it. These kind of things fluctuate. There is never going to be a final dictum between the asuras and the or whatever, the materialistic people and the spiritualistic people, because this is part of the mechanism of cultural evolution, but more in a deeper manner, the spiritual development of humankind, and also the process of expansion and development of consciousness according to the large scales, yogas, and whatever. So today we spoke a little bit more on the Western and Eastern paradigm inside the materialistic and spiritualistic balance, because in the previous video we spoke more on spirituality, and also there a video that I recently about process in West and in East, specifically in India. This we can apply to all Eastern traditions that are spiritualistic, like the Confucianist. You can say that Confucius is not very much spiritualistic, but the point is there is still the idea of spiritual development there. A little bit different from India, a little bit different from Japan, a little bit different from Thailand, whatever. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you want to hit the like button and share, please do so soon. If the internet still works, say it was just like the first test, we can go on. Okay, nice to see you again. And if you speak Portuguese, please be welcome to help to translate and to put subtitles in the other videos. If you wish to do Ayurveda and Jyotish yoga counseling, send me an email to namaste.tiago@gmail.com. It's on the description. Okay? See you soon. Namaste.